You wake up one day and realize something feels off. You're moving, you're working, you're doing what's expected, but deep inside, something is missing. It's not that you don't have goals, it's not that you're lost in a physical sense, but you feel disconnected from yourself, from your own life. The person you see in the mirror feels like a stranger, and that is a terrifying realization. Because if you don't know who you are, how can you know what you truly want? How can you trust your own decisions? How can you live a life that is yours and not just a reflection of the expectations placed upon you? We are conditioned to believe that finding ourselves is some mystical journey, some grand expedition into the unknown, when in reality, we were never truly lost to begin with. We have been here all along, buried under the weight of expectations, fears, doubts, and the never-ending noise of the world telling us who we should be. The real challenge is not in finding yourself, it's in stripping away everything that is not you. It's in facing the truth that you have spent years building a version of yourself that is easier to present to the world but harder to live with. That's where the discomfort begins. That's where the real work starts. The great tragedy of life is that most people die without ever having met themselves. They live behind a mask, adjusting it to fit different situations, different people, different roles, never stopping long enough to ask, who am I underneath all of this? What do I actually want? What do I truly believe? They avoid these questions because the answers might be inconvenient. They might force change. They might demand responsibility, but ignoring them is far worse. Because when you betray yourself for long enough, you start to forget who you were in the first place. To find yourself, you must be willing to let go of who you thought you were. That means questioning everything, the beliefs you hold, the stories you tell yourself, the identities you have clung to for years. It means asking yourself, did I choose this life or did I inherit it? Am I acting out a script someone else wrote for me? Am I living in a way that aligns with my deepest values, or am I just following the path of least resistance? Most people are terrified of these questions because they force confrontation with the truth. And the truth is often uncomfortable, but it is also liberating. When you strip away everything that is not you, what remains is raw, unfiltered, and sometimes unsettling. It might not fit into the neat categories that society has laid out. It might challenge the beliefs you were raised with. It might demand that you walk a path that others don't understand. But that is the price of authenticity. That is the price of truly knowing yourself. And the cost of not paying that price is far greater, because the alternative is to live as a stranger in your own life. Many people wait for permission to be themselves. They wait for a sign, for approval, for some external force to tell them it's okay to step into their truth. But no one is coming to do that for you. No one will give you permission to be who you are. You have to take it. You have to own it. And that means facing the fear of rejection, the fear of judgment, the fear of failure. It means understanding that you will never be truly free until you let go of the need to be liked by everyone. Because if you live for approval, you will die by rejection. People talk about success as if it is the ultimate measure of a person's worth. But what is success if it comes at the cost of your identity? What is achievement if you had to sacrifice your soul to get there? True success is not about becoming someone else's definition of greatness. It is about becoming fully, unapologetically yourself. It is about waking up every morning and knowing that the life you are living is yours, not one you borrowed, not one you settled for, but one you consciously created. To find yourself, you must be willing to be alone with yourself, not just physically, but mentally. You must sit in the silence, away from distractions, away from the constant input of other people's opinions, and ask, who am I when no one is watching? What do I desire when there is no one to impress? What do I believe when there is no one to agree or disagree with me? If you cannot sit in that silence, if you cannot bear to be alone with your own thoughts, then you are not truly living as yourself. You are living as a collection of borrowed beliefs. There will be moments in this journey when everything feels uncertain, when the old version of you no longer fits, but the new version has not yet fully emerged. That space in between is uncomfortable, it is lonely, it is filled with doubt, but it is also where transformation happens. Do not run from it. Do not numb it with distractions. Sit in it, feel it, allow it to shape you, because on the other side of that discomfort is clarity. On the other side is the version of you that has always been waiting to be acknowledged. Most people think they need more confidence to change their lives, but confidence is not the starting point. It is the result. You do not need to be confident to take the first step. You just need to be willing to question, willing to explore, willing to make mistakes and look foolish and get it wrong before you get it right. Confidence grows in the soil of experience. It is built through action, through trial and error, through stepping into the unknown and realizing that you are capable of more than you ever believed. Do not waste your life living someone else's story. Do not trade authenticity for acceptance. Do not let the fear of who you might become keep you trapped in a version of yourself that no longer fits. You owe it to yourself to ask the hard questions, to break the patterns that do not serve you, to take responsibility for your own existence. No one can do this work for you. No one else can tell you who you are. They can only tell you who they need you to be. The world does not need more people who conform. It does not need more people who live on autopilot, who follow the script without question. It needs people who are fully alive, people who have met themselves, who know themselves, who refuse to be anything other than what they were meant to be. The world needs you, not the watered-down, filtered, palatable version of you, the real you. And the only person who can bring that version to life is you. So ask yourself, are you ready to meet the person you were meant to be? Because they have been waiting for you all along. You wake up every morning searching for something, a reason, a direction, a sense of meaning that makes it all worthwhile. You tell yourself that once you find your purpose, everything will fall into place. The confusion will end. The doubts will disappear. The struggle will make. But purpose isn't something you stumble upon like a hidden treasure. It isn't waiting at some distant destination, wrapped up neatly with a sign that says, here it is, now you can be happy. That's not how it works. That's not how life works. People chase purpose like it's a fixed point, a final achievement, a reward for all their searching. They believe that once they find it, everything will be easy, no more uncertainty, no more struggle, but that's an illusion. Purpose isn't a single revelation. It isn't a single moment of clarity that lasts forever. It is something you build, something you refine, something you must choose again and again every single day. And that is what makes it so powerful, because if purpose were a destination, then what happens when you reach it? What happens when you realize that even after achieving your goals, there is still more to learn, more to give, more to become? Life does not hand you purpose. It does not arrive with instructions or guarantees. It is something you create through action, through trial and error, through the willingness to take responsibility for your existence. And that responsibility is heavy. It requires that you stop waiting for certainty. It demands that you step forward even when you are afraid. Because if you wait until you feel ready, you will wait forever. And in that waiting, life will pass you by. People say they want to find their passion, their calling, their one true path. But passion is not something that strikes you like lightning. It is not something you passively discover. It is something you cultivate. It is something you earn. And you earn it through discipline, through perseverance, through showing up every day and doing the work, even when it's hard, even when it's frustrating, even when it feels like you are nowhere. Because the truth is, purpose reveals itself in motion. It does not come to those who sit and wait. It comes to those who act, who explore, who take risks, and allow themselves to fail. And failure will come. There is no way around it. There will be moments when you question everything, when the path ahead looks too uncertain, when you wonder if you are even capable of doing something meaningful with your life. And in those moments, you will be tempted to stop, to settle, to shrink back into comfort. But comfort is not the same as fulfillment. It is not the same as meaning. A life spent avoiding difficulty is a life spent avoiding growth. And without growth, there is no purpose, only stagnation. Many people look at others who seem to have it all figured out and feel like they are falling behind, like they are missing something. But comparison is a trap. The people you admire, the ones who seem so sure of themselves, did not arrive at their purpose fully formed. They built it piece by piece, often in the dark, often through struggle, often through years of uncertainty. And if you were to ask them, they would likely tell you that even now they are still figuring it out, because purpose is not a single moment of clarity. It is a continuous process of becoming. The mistake most people make is believing that they need to know exactly where they are going before they start moving. But clarity comes through action, not before it. You do not need all the answers to take the first step. You do not need certainty to begin. What you need is the willingness to move forward despite the uncertainty, despite the fear, despite the doubts that whisper, "What if this isn't the right path?" Because here's the truth. There is no single right path. There is only the path you choose and the way you walk it. And how you walk it matters. It matters more than you think, because the way you live today determines the person you become tomorrow. Every choice you make, every habit you build, every small act of courage or surrender shapes your future. People want purpose to feel grand, to feel significant, to be wrapped in some extraordinary mission. But purpose is found in the smallest moments, in showing up when you don't feel like it, in pushing yourself to be better, in choosing integrity when no one is watching, in refusing to settle for a life that does not challenge you. There is a weight that comes with knowing that your life is your responsibility, that no one is coming to hand meaning, to give you permission to make the difficult choices for you. But there is also a freedom in it, because if you are responsible for your life, then you are also capable of changing it. You are not stuck. You are not bound to a single fate. You have the power to create, to grow, to choose a different path. And in that choosing, in that movement, in that relentless pursuit of something greater, you will find the thing you were searching for all along. But it will not be a single moment. It will not be a final answer. It will be a series of choices, a commitment to keep going, even when it's hard, even when you don't know exactly where the road leads. Because purpose is not found in certainty. It is found in courage, in the willingness to step forward without guarantees, in the decision to take responsibility for your own existence and make something meaningful out of it. So stop waiting, stop searching for some perfect moment when everything makes sense. It will never come. Instead, start moving, start building, start choosing. And in that movement, in that struggle, in that relentless pursuit of something greater than yourself, you will find the purpose you have been looking for, or rather, you will create it.